Good evening. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable Dr. Muhammad Razif Abdul Razak, Dr. Hazlin Sharuddin, Mr. and Madam Speakers, distinguished guests, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to welcome you to this prestigious webinar series entitled The Next Level of Art-Lumni. To ensure that this webinar is running smoothly, we would like to ask all guests to turn off your microphone. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Before we start, here a little brief. This webinar series held by the postgrad final semester students from the Faculty of Art and Design Uitm Shah Alam. Before we begin, I would like to invite Mr. Ahmed to lead the recitation of prayer.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم لك الحمد ولك الشكر على كل ما قدرت وقضيت. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آله وسلم. اللهم إني توكلت عليك وسلمت أمري إليك لا ملجأ ولا منجي إلا إليك. اللهم لا سهل إلا ما قد جعلته سهلا. اللهم اجعل الصعب لي سهلا. اللهم ذكرني ما نسيت ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك أستغيث. إني يمسني الضر وأنت أرحم الراحمين. اللهم يا جامع الناس في يوم لا ريب فيه اجمع بيني وبين ضالتي. اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا فأنت إن شئت جعلت الصعب سهلا. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. بسم الله الفتاح. اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت إن شئت جعلت الصعب سهلا يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم اقسم لنا من خشيتك ما تحول به بيننا وبين معصيتك ومن طاعتك ما تبلغنا بها جنتك ومن اليقين ما تهون به علينا مصائب الدنيا يا رب العالمين. وصلى اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وسلم. آمين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Amin, Amin, Ya Rabbal Alamin. Thank you, Mr. Ahmad, for the beautiful dua. Now, we would like to invite our respective lecturer, Dr. Razif, to say a few welcoming words.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Diana. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good evening. First and foremost, we are very happy and thankful to Allah for the success in organizing our second webinar session for this semester. Welcome everyone. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the speakers, Mr. Zamir Akil, Mrs. Tymfatimah, Mr. Ardi Idewani. Okay, thank you for your time and kind support. We really appreciate it. We also like to extend our warm appreciation to the Dean and Faculty Top Management for their supports. Okay, I personally see this program as a very important event because it demonstrates the ability of the students to organize such an event in the current situation. Okay, it's not easy. For your information, this semester the postgraduate students organizing this program completely conducted and on a digital platform in line with the social distancing norms due to COVID-19 pandemic. Again, it's not easy, but we must do the best. Having said that, it's also important that we need to remind ourselves that this event should not mark the end of our efforts. We must work hard together as unity, but always remember to keep social distance. Okay, I'm confident that this program will serve as a springboard to generate even more constructive and innovative idea for the benefits of our students, faculty, and also our university. Finally, I would like to express my gratitude to the organizing committee team and for their commitments in making this program a success. I hope this webinar session will continue to be a platform for sharing sessions, sharing ideas, sharing knowledge, and sharing experience. And also, this effort will strengthen the relationship between the faculty and also and industry. Okay, for that, thank you. All the best. Thank you very much again. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Doctor. And I believe we are so fortunate to have three outstanding speakers to share their insights and knowledge for today's topic. Allow me to introduce the speakers. Please give a warm welcome to our speakers, Mr. Zamir Akil, Mr. Ardi Idewani, and Ms. Tymfatimah. We were all pleased with your willingness to be here. I'm Diana Zainuddin, and it is my pleasure to be a moderator for today's webinar. Okay, let's start with knowing the speaker, Mr. Zamir Akil, a senior designer from Proton, Sdn Bhd. Hi, Mr. Zamir.
Hello, hi.
Okay, can you briefly share with us who is Mr. Zamir Akil?
Okay, first of all, thanks to RN Design Uitm Shalam for inviting to this special session. Okay, my name is Zamir Akil. I was born in Penang, raised in Johor, currently stayed in Kota Damansara, and I graduated from Uitm in Industrial Design, major in Transport Design. I furthered my master's in Design Technology back in late 2012. So now I currently been working in Proton since 2010 as advanced designer, and it's been about 10 years now working with Proton Design. So yeah, that's a short brief about myself.
Okay, Proton inspiring connection, am I right?
That's correct.
Okay. Hope we can connect well through this show, Mr. Zamir.
Yeah, sure, of course.
Okay, next is the man with a great sense of style, Mr. Ardi Idewani. How are you, Mr. Ardi?
I am good, alhamdulillah.
Okay. How is your routine during this pandemic? Is it good?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Actually, I've been trying to do a lot of research, and I did a lot of like macam contohnya macam nak buat a lot of research, and then did a lot of create contents for my Stylist, for my website, and at the same time, I also have to prepare my lineup for 2021, which is like in a month time lagi kita nak ke 2021. So yeah, I think this pandemic has taught me to be more independent, and I've been working everything all by myself sekarang ni. Yeah, everything is good. Alhamdulillah, everything is good. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, and I hope everything is going well for you.
Yeah,
okay, Mr. Ardi is a fashion editor and a stylist from Style.my. Mr. Ardi, can you tell us more about yourself regarding your job as a fashion editor?
Okay. Okay. Briefly about myself, I'm just like Mr. Zamir. I graduated from Uitm Shalam back in 2009, and I actually graduated from fashion design. Currently, right now, I am working as a fashion editor for Style.my. But before Style.my, I was with Glam Lelaki magazine. So what we do what we do as a fashion editor, we create images and also content for magazines, and we edit like some stories, we edit pictures, and then we also come up with a trend that we can actually to be shared to the readers out there. And that's what briefly about what fashion editor does. And apart from it, apa lagi? I also do styling, just like Kak Tim, where seperti Kak Tim juga, where kita orang macam the same thing, kita orang create image, and we like visualize like a style on certain macam clients, and yeah, basically it's all about that.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ardi. And fun fact about Mr. Ardi is one of his IG follower is Nilofa. Okay, for me, having a fashion icon as a follower is an achievement. Okay.
Wow.
And the only rose among our speakers is the Malaysian stylista, Miss Tymfatimah. How are you, Kak Tim?
Alhamdulillah. Hai, Assalamualaikum semua.
Waalaikumsalam. Okay, Miss Tim is a director and fashion stylist from Tim Style. Can you introduce us with your background, Miss Tim?
Okay, nama saya Fatimah binti Puteh sebenarnya. Tymfatimah is my, orang cakap, stage name lah. Okay, so of course I'm graduate from Uitm in fashion in 2003. Okay, so I start working as a fashion stylist at 2012. Yeah.
And I heard due to semi-final music, you are also affected by pandemic, right?
Yeah. So actually, I'm not a close contact with Alif because I'm there at the second days of semi-final, and I do my swab test. Luckily, it's a negative result. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Hope everything is going well.
Yeah.
We've heard their amazing background, Mr. Zamir as a designer at Proton, Mr. Ardi, a fashion editor, and Miss Tim with her Stylist world. Now, I would like to ask about your experience in the industry. Okay, starting from the scratch and getting up to a successful person and creating a name in the industry. Can we start with Mr. Zamir?
Yeah, sure. I think throughout my experience in the early years, I've been working with other designers and engineers, and also dealing with other departments such as marketing, product planning, and so on. Those early days, it's been quite a hard time for me to learn and adapt in new working environments, such as dealing with engineers, negotiating on the design that we as designer wants on the final product. So the more I involved with small project until the biggest one, designing a whole new car, I got to learn new things on how car was built from scratch. For example, how all the components was made through various process, and also what is possible to do in a production car. But those limitations doesn't stop me from exploring new possibilities and expressing design conceptually. So the turning point that makes me getting up successfully creating a name in this industry is when I got the opportunity working with new concept cars and also live projects, and finally being recognized as part of the Proton design team. Yeah.
Okay, I can see that it must be tough to cope with a new environment, right?
Yeah, it is tough.
Okay. Yeah. So what about Miss Tim? Do you face the same when you are falling down and you try to get up? How about you, Miss Tim?
Okay. Maybe we are different league because sebenarnya I dalam orang cakap industri entertainment. So we working with a lot of big name in entertainment. So I rasa dengan dalam bidang I ni, I can expand my networking. Lepas tu I ada orang kata peluang, chance bekerja dengan nama-nama besar lah dekat industri entertainment Malaysia.
Okay, and for me, you had a beautiful journey, Miss Tim.
Thank you. Sama
Okay.
je, siapa-siapa dalam bidang ni pun akan, I rasa akan melalui apa yang I lalui, akan gain experience what I dah lalui, sama juga dengan Ardi, dengan other stylist, para Azrin, herself, ya.
Semua orang ada zaman jatuh dia and try to get out balik, kan?
Yeah.
Okay, what about you, Mr. Ardi? Being an editor, what challenges you had faced?
I think now, coming from a print background, I think we have to pivot everything to digital. I think that is transition myself from print to digital is not easy, because I took some time to get to know more about digital, to get to know more about what digital can we create with a digital platform. And another challenge would be to staying ahead of the game, because now there are so many digital platforms. So we have to forecast the trend to be catered to people out there. And then I feel like I shoulder this big responsibility, to make a great, to create like choices dari segi trend. And these choices will influence my readers, the people out there. So I think staying ahead of the game to be par with the digital punya era is quite a challenge for me. But alhamdulillah, we're keeping up with the trend, and we're keeping up, and then alhamdulillah now everything is doing good. Yeah.
Lagi susah, lagi manis pengalaman kita, kan?
Yeah, betul.
Okay.
Lagi manis, yes.
I can see that the struggle is real, guys. But let's take a look at the bright side. Oprah Winfrey, the philanthropist, once said that failure is another stepping stone to greatness. Okay, noted that Mr. Zamir is trying to cope with the new environment. Mr. Ardi trying to learn digital world, and his team with their own struggle. We've talked about their struggle, and I believe that every silver lining has a cloud. Okay, just look at them now. Each of them is a successful person in life with their own achievement. Okay, tell me something you've achieved and accomplished in your career that you are really proud of. Mr. Zamir, one of the advanced designer in Proton, working on various projects such as the 2012 Preve Sapphire, 2014 Iriz Active, and the 2019 Saga. Can you share with us your glorious moments, Mr. Zamir?
Okay, sure. As far I'm working in Proton, I've achieved on what you just said just now, participating in designing the 2012 Preve Sapphire for the launching event, and involved in the Iriz Active concept project back in 2014. So I've been working closely with other designers, brainstorming on ideas, exchanging thoughts, and exploring all the possibilities that we could do in producing cars that desirably for people out there. So far I've accomplished in participating a lot of events, show cars, concept cars back in the early years in the Clims 2010. At that time, we were showcased a lot of concept cars such as the Pahlawan series. There is the Q, the Kir, Jebat, Tuah, and also Kasturi, you name it all. And I think that was the greatest moment that we could showcase a lot of concepts in one time. And despite of all concept cars, show cars, I've been working closely with the live projects as well, such as the production cars. One of the things that I've accomplished in working closely with the engineers and vendors in China, in designing exterior as well as interior parts of the 2019 Saga. So I guess that was my achievement that I can really proud of. Yeah.
Okay, I'm so proud of you too.
Thank you.
Okay, now Miss Tim, a well-known stylist. Siapa tak kenal Kak Tim kan? Best Stylist Award 2019 from A. Been working with Datuk Rizalman for his short film, Style, the main host for several popular award ceremony in Malaysia, such as Anugerah Jualan Lagu, Anugerah Screen, and so on. Okay, Miss Tim, which part of your achievement that make you think like, oh my God, I'm here, am I really here? Yang macam Kak Tim sendiri tak sangka Kak Tim ada dapat pencapaian tu. Which achievement, Miss Tim?
Okay, okay, of course one of that is when I won Stylist, Best Stylist masa tu 2012 for Zalora, and then for 2019 for EH Anugerah Stylist Award. So and then for me, working with a truly legend, working with our orang cakap legend-legend yang life legend ni, I rasa one of my achievement, which is dulu I tengok I hanya tengok kat TV dah, hanya tengok kat magazine, kat TV, kat paper masa I kecil. So I never dream yang one day I akan kerja dengan diorang ni. Macam Datuk M. Nasir, Ziana Zain, and one of I rasa dari kecil I tengok dia one of anchor at TV3 yang baca Nightline is Mr. Raymond Goh. I macam masa the first time I tengok dia, I rasa macam struck because I tengok dia masa dari kecil dekat TV. So I tak sangka I the one yang akan style dia untuk dia keluar TV. So for me it's a big achievement for me.
Wow. And saya pun sekarang tengah start tengok Kak Tim sekarang ni.
Tengok.
Okay, and Mr. Ardi.
Yep.
Okay, and Mr. Ardi, from starting as a stylist to editor, received Merit Award MPA 2012, and I heard that you are among the youngest editor in your field. So share with us the moment of downfall, the falling pride, and what is your turning point to get up back and survive successfully, Mr. Ardi?
I wouldn't say like a personal downfall. I think it's a downfall collectively a downfall lah. Because I feel like I'm implored to say this because I partly shoulder the responsibility especially me being in this magazine industry, publishing industry, during the closing of Blue Ink. So I think at that time I thought that, oh, like printed fashion magazine, especially for Malay magazine, like it's dying. So I think when I see those magazines are flourishing back again now, sekarang ni dah ada, it's a new publication house, and then the magazine is coming back. So I feel like I'm happy to see that the magazine is not dying again. But we, like I said just now, we have to pivot everything to digital, and then we have to keep up with what is trend yang sekarang ni kan. So so I was hoping that this new era of magazine, being part of the entity, being part of the publishing punya community, I'm hoping to see like the downfall that happened before during the closing of Blue Ink tu is something that it's macam apa tu, it will drive these people to be more to freshen up, to find their strengths and all. And then saya rasa it's good to have this competition again, but in a healthy competition. So I think that there is one of the downfall that I wouldn't say it's a personal downfall. I think it's a collectively downfall lah. Yeah.
Okay, it can relate to that. The light at the end of the tunnel is not an illusion, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, such an awesome achievements, and for me, whatever you are doing to look this good, keep it up. Love your job. Hashtag I love my job. Okay, talking about loving a job, we have a jobless issue here that hits our industry at the moment. As stated by Malay Mail, Malaysia's job love shot up to 826,000 in MCO era in May, most unemployment 2020. And okay, Mr. especially on graduate students.
Okay, I think unemployment become the biggest issue is because of young graduates these days. They tend to rely on one capability or skills that they are comfort with. So for example, in automotive industry, we all know that local automotive industry is available in Malaysia, probably Proton and Proton. So in this case, there is actually a lot of part manufacturers, components that I think the fresh graduates could go into that industry. If they doesn't get the chance to be part of the main automotive, such as Proton, so for what I can think, they would probably learn new knowledge, new skills before they really get into big automotive company. So they can prepare and strengthen their portfolios once the opening is available. So for my advice to the young graduate students, just try to do your best to prepare all your portfolios for job interview, and try to be a multidisciplinary designer, because it is important for these days where you can express your creativity in a slightly different field. So by this, they can prepare to back up themselves if they didn't get the chance to go their specialized job field. Again, it's not wrong to just focus in your specialized areas, but being multidisciplinary designer can always add value in yourself. Yeah.
Yes, multidisciplinary is the word, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, what about Miss Tim? What about you? Most fresh graduates prefer salary compared to jobs experience. Mereka lebih pentingkan gaji dari pengalaman. Like, if I am degree, gaji I should be degree. If I am diploma, gaji I should be diploma. What say you, Miss Tim?
Okay, actually as a university graduate, you of course you have a value. Tapi dalam industri yang orang cakap industri yang nyata, orang kata dalam dunia pekerjaan yang betul ni, your experience more value than your education actually. Tapi bila you ada education tu is a bonus for you. So for me, why don't you seek for experience first, and then bila you dah dapat orang cakap opportunity tu, you prove yourself, you prove to others yang hasil kerja you macam mana semua, you prove your quality and your skill, then baru people can value you. barulah orang macam orang tak boleh argue dengan you punya value, you punya price. Orang tak boleh cakap macam kenapa kau mahal, kenapa you charge mahal, because you dah ada value, you ada quality, you dah prove you punya skills. So sebab tu experience lebih penting. I think experience lebih penting. I share, actually I boleh share dengan you guys. Masa I mula-mula fresh graduate, I terima kerja with one of Malaysian designer, well-known Malaysian designer masa that time lah, masa time I tu. So dengan gaji yang sangat rendah. I took the job, I ambil je kerja tu dengan hanya gaji RM500 sebulan. So pada tahun 2003 for me, 500 is kecil jugalah, kecil. 500 kecil untuk I nak hidup kat KL. So but for me, I nak gain the experience sebab I rasa masa I belajar dulu, yes I belajar benda-benda semua, lecturer dah ajar, tapi I belum tahu how to practice to dunia kerja yang sebenar. So I'm okay with gaji RM500 tu. I prove myself, I prove to my boss. So lama-lama tu bila I jump to the other designer, I jump to the other workplace, orang dah mula value I punya experience, dah mula value I punya skill. So masa tu I dah boleh naikkan I punya, of course, my price. So I think experience penting lah.
Okay, macam kita cakap RM500 tu cukup untuk bayar sewa, tapi pengalaman tu siapa pun tak boleh bayar, okay? Okay, so let's hear Mr. Ardi's opinion. Do you have any advice to this type of typical minded of our youngsters?
Okay, I think if money and money is your soul and your goal, I think your career or your life will be unfulfilling and short-lived. And for me, like Kak Tim said, experience is gold. That's the most important thing, because like how Kak Tim started, I started off as a junior fashion writer for Glam Lelaki, and my gaji was like very little, and then I had to like live with it, you know. And then at that time, kita orang tak dirushkan untuk, yes, I came from a fashion graduate, but I remember my editor back then, Azriza Hafiz, he was like, I want you to join Glam Lelaki, but I don't want you to just focus on fashion. So me as a fashion student, I was like, orang kata gatal nak buat fashion kan, macam oh my god, I really want to do fashion. But then he was like, no, I want you to get to know the magazine first, the DNA, the magazine. So me being a junior, I have to know that, oh, that's the experience that I have to gain. And this is something, for me, this is gold. So nak tak nak, I have to like write not just about fashion, I have to write about cars, I have to write about automobiles, I have to write about perfume, I have to write about a lot of things. So daripada tu lama-kelamaan, it took me 2 years to be fashion writer. And it took me like 4 years to become a fashion editor. So after that, barulah I was given a freedom to create my own fashion spread, to style my own fashion spread, to style my own fashion content. So that is where the experience came. You know, so I think that's very important. And that's something that I did back then. So I think for me, experience is very important. But I kind of understand like the kids nowadays, because I think some of them, they may want to move faster. But if you want to move faster, if you want something fast, you have to have the same amount of passion. So if you move faster than me, but then you are good at what you're doing, go ahead. But just remember, kalau nak buat tu, just remember, if you want to do it like faster than me, remember to gain knowledge and experience first, because whatever it is, experience is gold. Whatever it is.
Yeah, I really agree with that. Memang experience tu memang sangat gold. And yet, we should grab any chances. In the end, we only regret the chances that we didn't take. Okay, that's for the jobless. Okay, now we touch a bit for those who already set up their career, just like you guys, and how to sustain in industry. Okay, Miss Tim, we heard about the last minute cancellation of SFMM, semi-final music due to COVID case. Okay, in that kind of situation, how you solve the problem with your team? Macam mana Kak Tim handle betul bila orang cakap, okay, cancel the show is cancelled? How Kak Tim?
Okay, actually masa malam yang I ada tu tak cancel. So the other days of the day yang Alif posted dia punya status tu, I was at Gegar Vaganza actually. So masa tu the moment Alif posted tu, diorang semua macam orang cakap macam kelang kabut, macam kacau bilau lah, chaotic gila. So diorang tahu I one of the person yang ada waktu semi-final. So I di-advisekan balik. Masa tu baru pukul 6.50 petang, which is I belum pun boleh get ready my client, which is masa tu yang hire I is Jihan for the main host and Liza Hanim untuk persembahan special performance. So I tak sempat pun jumpa diorang, I tak sempat pun nak buat apa-apa. So masa tu I dinasihatkan balik. So nak tak nak I kena fikir benda yang cepat lah, apa yang I kena buat apa. So I rasa masa ni perlunya PR yang bagus, perlunya networking yang bagus, because we never know benda-benda macam ni akan jadi. So at that time I sangat perlukan pertolongan, I perlukan orang-orang yang boleh membantu I. So masa tu I alhamdulillah hubungan I baik dengan ramai orang juga. So I minta bantuan in-house stylist untuk stylekan Jihan and stylekan Liza Hanim. So I hand over lah my task that time for them, for the orang kata in-house stylist.
Okay, I'll watch that episode, Kati. Okay, Miss Tim, you've worked with so many great names in industry such as Jihan Musa, Sheila Rusli, Nana Mahazan, and Caroline I saw in your Instagram for Shoot Umrah. And you are among of outstanding stylists in line with Miluna, Abu, Colin, Yana Baharudin, Farah Azrin, and Ardi Idewani himself. And many competitors out there, they are racing to venture into this field. Diorang pun berlumba nak masuk bidang stylist ni. Okay, therefore Miss Tim, how can you sustain and make it a healthy competition? Bersaing in a good way, bersaing secara sihat. Macam mana Miss Tim sustain benda tu?
Okay, I rasa alhamdulillah sebab I have a fashion education, I have a fashion background, which is walaupun kita kata experience tu penting, but education kita bonus. So because of that, I macam I rasa compare to the others, I tak compare I dengan alumni Uitm macam Ardi semua, compare to the other stylist yang tak ada background fashion. I rasa diorang macam akan struggle because diorang tak ada basic fashion tu. So I think that's how I sustain. Lepas tu of course I kena show my quality of work, I kena being more creative dari diorang. Tapi actually I sebenarnya I tak compete dengan mana-mana pun. I tak pernah letak orang lain sebagai I punya competitor. I compete with myself. Actually I compete with myself. I rasa selalu lepas I habis kerja, lepas I buat satu-satu project, I akan postmortem my work with my assistant, ataupun I tanya among my friend, macam I tanya pendapat lah. So I compete with myself actually, I tak compete dengan siapa-siapa.
Because when we competing with our own self, kita akan bring out the best version of us, kan?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, Ardi, this one is for you about plagiarism. Okay, you must be heard about this. Nowadays, there's too many fashion portal that plagiate topic and make it as their own. How you handle this issue with your team, Mr. Ardi?
Okay. Wow, okay. Plagiarism is, because it's everywhere. Plagiarism is everywhere because it's 2020, and then we also, some people may call it inspiration, but the way we see it, we probably see it as a plagiarism. So I believe because you know what we say imitation is the biggest form of flattery. So plagiarism is going to be there anyhow, but it is depends on us to be more innovative, to create something different in terms of angle dia ke macam mana ke kan. Contohnya macam saya what I do is I will bring deep knowledge about fashion, because coming from a fashion background, it's important for, and being a fashion editor, it's important for me to bring a deep knowledge about fashion. And when I discuss it with my team, we also have to be innovative in terms of to create content so that we kiranya tak sama dengan yang lain lah. And because whatever it is, like when we work in the media, in the publishing, we will get the same material, we will get the same press release from PRs, from brands, everything is going to be the same. But it is depend on us how we want to create it into, like, divert into something different in terms of angle dia, in terms of content dia macam mana. And then because, like I said tadi lah, because it's in 2020, we just have to accept the fact that plagiarism is going to be there, like by hook or by crook akan ada di situ juga. So yeah, so kita kena, dari segi pendek kata, kita kena inovatif, kita kena jadi kreatif, kita kena jadi like ahead of the game, what we can do with the content that we get, because we know there are so many fashion platforms, there's so many fashion portal, there's so many lifestyle portal, but what makes us different is we have to have USP, we have to have our own unique selling point. And then when we go out there, that people know, oh, your content is original, your content is different, your content is something that we can read and we can rely on. So yeah, so that's how we want to work around plagiarism. Yeah.
Okay, because we are getting information from the same source. It's depend on us how kita nak elaborate from our point of view.
Kayaknya macam we have to add our own values lah.
Next,
yeah.
Okay, yeah, betul. Our own value. Okay, next, Ardi. As stated by topuniversities.com, Uitm is one of the top public university in Malaysia. And according to easyuni.my, Uitm continues to produce graduates who excel in many fields, and one of them is the industry of art and design. And Ardi, as an alumni of Uitm, what is our strength compared to alumni from other institutions?
Well, speaking on behalf of a fashion graduate, I think based on my experience being a student, studied fashion design from UiTM, I must say that we have barisan educator yang sangat-sangat bagus. Itu saya macam kagum sampai sekarang, alhamdulillah. Dan I think dari segi tu, the knowledge that we got from them is something that sampai sekarang saya simpan lagi. Especially me being a writer, whenever I want to write something, whenever I want to produce something, I will always put myself like I will always put my education first, my knowledge first that I got from my teachers kan. So I think the strength that I have is I have a good knowledge of, I mean, like in general lah, we have a good knowledge of the bidang that we are in. Contohnya, tak kisahlah fashion ke or industrial design ke, that's the most perkara yang membanggakan lah juga sebenarnya. And then when I joined Blue Ink, and then when I met like a few editors, like contohnya Chakarul Abidin, Suzy Adnan, Yana Barudin, they all came from UiTM juga. So we can see that the product of UiTM is actually reliable, is something that people can actually boleh dipercayai, dan because of kita ada knowledge yang kiranya macam barangkali tidak ada semua tempat ada, tapi kita ada benda tu. Dan satu lagi saya nak kongsi tentang masa saya belajar fashion dulu, in fashion design, I don't know if nowadays ada lagi ke tak, tapi kita orang dulu ada forecast in library. Yeah, so Akatim pun setuju kan? Yeah, so kita dulu ada forecast. And then I got to know that we are the only school of fashion school yang ada ada access to forecast fashion. That's where we get to know about trends. That's where we get to know about the color trends, about patterns and all. Dan benda tu yang tidak ada pada zaman saya lah. Benda tu tidak ada di fashion school lain. So bila saya share benda tu dengan lain, and they were like, oh, you have forecast, like, okay, buntungnya you UiTM ada forecast. So yeah, I think that's one of the strength that we have, that sampai sekarang yang saya pegang lagi. Dan whatever it is, saya rasa mana-mana student UiTM pun, bila dah bidang kerja mana-mana pun, whenever they go out there, they're proud of themselves being a UiTM product. Kan, betul tak? So yeah.
Memang betul setuju dengan itu. That's why UITM is one of a brand of for art and design. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Let's to Mr. Zamir. Okay, Mr. Zamir. As you told us just now, you are working at Proton Sdn Bhd as a team. Explain how you use your skills in your team to solve a problem regarding due date or any out of blue obstacle, Mr. Zamir.
Okay, good question. For me, I prioritize from the importance of the project to the least important one to ensure everything is delivered on time. I will definitely make sure all the workloads are completed before the due date and plan for the next project. So I will usually start from some research and benchmarking to see whatever it suits with the project brief. And I would definitely do brainstorming, asking other designers' opinion and their point of view. I think it all begins with a draft of ideas before I start on the final output, doing mood board, ideation drawing, and thumbnail sketch. And I prefer to express my storyline of ideas through visual more than explanation. So everything is self-explanatory. So yeah, that's how I work with the rest of the team.
Okay, I got it. Okay, one more thing, Mrs. Zamir. I've read from themuse.com, it stated that no matter what stage of your career you are in, or how far afield your background may seem, it may seem if something that you aspire to, and it is impossible for you to find it in the design world. It shows that the demand from this field is getting higher, and it seems that it's so easy to enter the design world. So our graduates need to gain place in industry, and they have to be more. As you stated just now, Mr. Zamir, multidisciplinary is one of the factors of success. Can you share with us how having multi-skills could achieve?
Okay, as quoted by one of my Sifu, Mr. Asri Ahmad, to be someone who have multi-skills, multidisciplinary, you need to be open enough in accepting new challenges. Because as designer, we need to always evolve our skills and knowledge. And once I've been involving myself in designing interior design, graphic design, motion graphic, public furniture, and even animation. Because nowadays we have a lot of software platforms, apps that can help us to express our creativity instantly. So I think that was an important skills that all students should have to make sure they are capable and always ready when they jump into other design fields. Yeah.
Instead of having multi-skill, we should have a multi-passions too, right? Because multi-passion can lead us to the multi-skills. Okay, and I believe that the future will be what you contribute to and create. Okay, regarding with contribution, we don't have to mention because these three of you are proven the successful alumni of UITM, #UITM product. Okay, I want to ask three of you, how alumni can contribute to UITM and what is the contribution you can give as an alumni? Okay, let's start with Mr. Ardi.
Okay. What was the question again? Oh, how I can contribute to UITM? Okay, I think just like how I mentioned just now, never forget your roots. Be a proud UITM, be a proud UITM product. I think that's one thing that you can actually, the alumni can contribute to UITM. And the other question is, what is the contribution that I can give as an alumni? I never shy away when people want to reach out to me. And then me being someone from a UITM product as a fashion school product from UITM, Seni Lukisan Seni Reka Fashion, I think probably the least lah. I think the thing that I could do as a contribution is probably to create a good brand and personal branding. And I wherever I go, I'm proud being a UITM product. I'm always proud being a UITM product. And to create a good name, and then to carry a good name, to create a good to get a good image, and then also personal branding. Me being a personal branding tu sangat-sangat penting. So I think that's probably the contribution that I can actually give as an alumni to UiTM. Yeah.
Okay, me too. I'm also proud as a UiTM student.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, what say you, Miss Tim? Apa sumbangan Miss Tim sebagai alumni?
Apa I nak cakap semua Ardi dah cakap macam mana? Okay, sama juga. Sebenarnya sama apa yang I nak cakap tu Ardi dah cakap. So, others contribute yang I boleh buat is macam malam ni to share my experience, to share my knowledge dengan adik-adik yang masih belajar, dengan adik-adik yang masih di UiTM. So maybe benda-benda ni tak ada waktu kita dekat UiTM dulu. So now as a alumni UiTM, so I share the real world of arts and design, the real world of innovation industry. Yeah, so lain-lain tu I sama juga dengan Ardi. I akan carry a good name, carry a good image of product, UiTM product.
Okay, thank you, Miss Tim. Okay, yours, Mr. Zamir. What about you?
I think probably Ardi and this team has I think as an alumni, I think that I can contribute to share my experience in designing for the past 10 years in the industry. Tell the people out there who are just graduated to keep being creative and not to stop seeking new ideas, possibility, and don't keep limiting yourself when it comes to produce a design. And I would definitely hold the name of UiTM wherever I go, because that is definitely where my journey starts. So be proud of UiTM product and share my journey and inspire all the students to keep learning and just explore all the possibilities. Yeah, I think that's what I can share.
Yeah. Okay, just be yourself, be proud, know your roots, have confidence is what you have to contribute. And at least we can contribute joy or a smile to the world right at this current moment. Okay, let's enjoy ourselves by answering this psychic question. Okay, first, who is Tymfatimah in the next 10 years?
Takut dengar, next 10 years. Next 10 years, I dah tua tau. I dah hampir mencecah umur separuh abad. Next 10 years, yeah. Lepas tu, okay, but my vision is I nak ada my orang cakap apa? Orang-orang macam I punya pelapis lah. So sebab tu I tubuhkan Team Style now. So Team Style ni is not just about me. So I nak educate other people. I nak bagi I punya knowledge. I nak share I punya apa yang I ada dengan other people yang macam teringin ataupun yang bercita-cita nak jadi stylist. So next 10 years I pun ada produk I sendiri, I pun ada macam alumni UiTM produk yang be proud to carry my name. Yeah.
Okay, next maybe ada alumni team Style maybe. Okay, very promising, Miss Tim. Okay, Mr. Ardi. Okay, who is Mr. Ardi Idewani in the next 5 years? Do you want to open your own fashion portal platform like Idewani.style or entering any educational sector maybe?
Yes, okay. Actually, that has always been my dream. I always wanted to have my own fashion portal. My goal is, this is something that I have discussed with some of my friends, and then I thought of like to create my own men's fashion portal. But I don't know yet. I don't know how we going to do it with macam mana kita nak create tu nanti, tak tahu lagi. InsyaAllah, probably yes, I want to create my own fashion portal. But now I'm just going to start with Style.my because I can see the potential in Style.my. And we are trying to get more projects. We are trying to get more editorial projects. We're trying to get more clients, create better content for people out there. And then we are trying to in the next, I wouldn't say the next 5 years, I think probably next year, Art-Lumni, we want to change it to be more young. We want to focus more on the young talents, such as young fashion designers, young interior designers, young photographers, because I think that is what Art-Lumni is all about. Yeah. Talking about entering the educational sector. Okay, yes, that is also my dream. Right now, inshallah, I'm doing my master. Inshallah, I try my best to GOT, but I don't know yet because of the pandemic situation. So I don't know how is it, how am I going to like deal with this whole situation. But I've always wanted to teach. I've always wanted to be an educator because my late father, he was also an educator. My mom is a teacher. So basically, I came from an education background, and also my brother is a professor from Unimas. So I think that has like sort of like influenced me to get involved in education. So that's why I try my best to do my masters, inshallah, and yeah, to see where it goes.
Okay, let's grad together because
I mean,
because we went to the first assembly, right? Like we went to the first assembly at Uitm together.
Yes.
I guess the last semester.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Okay. To Mr. Zamir, what is the achievement that Zamir Akil wants to pursue in the next 10 years?
Okay, I can see for the next 10 years, I would definitely establish my own brand or consultancy, maybe as what some of the popular Ital Design Jujaro or Pininfarina did. Or even establish my own academy such as Chris Banger Associates. So from this, I can expand the awareness of the importance on design in our local community. And for me, it's always about giving back to the community and duplicate my skills to others. So the next generation will be more creative and able to survive for the future. So I think I also see myself one day to become educator, inshallah. So yeah, I think that is part of my passion as well, because I always giving some talks to the students and also participating in events like Reka Negara, and also just volunteer myself to share knowledge with students. Yeah, I think.
And I guess by attending as a speaker, that gives some injection for you to become an academician. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah. I mean, as you guys know, we cannot do much in 2020. And some said that 2020 has been cancelled. And we are entering December very soon. So, what is New Year's resolution for 2021 and your goals? Mr. Tim. Miss Tim. Okay.
Actually, frankly speaking, I don't really have New Year resolution, but I do have daily resolution, which is I selalu bangun tidur, I berazam I akan jadi the best version of me compared to yesterday. So, I selalu berazam yang hari ni I akan lakukan lagi terbaik whatever I do, especially in my artwork. So, I selalunya every day I akan berazam, I akan buat yang terbaik, jadi more creative, do the best, be the best version of me. So, I selalunya orang kata daily resolution lah, not a New Year resolution.
And I guess by having a daily resolution too, maybe this is what jadikan Miss Tim ni sebagai seorang yang berjaya sekarang ni.
Aduh, janganlah kata macam tu. Belumlah berjaya sekarang. InsyaAllah. Tapi macam tu lah sebab I rasa resolution tu bagus. But tak payahlah New Year I rasa kan. So kita boleh set daily, weekly, monthly. So tak payah tunggu setahun baru nak set. I think that's my personal taste.
Ya, sebab setengah orang kalau nak diet tu next Monday macam tu kan. So, wait kita start sekarang kan. Okay. Okay, yours Mr. Zamir, apa resolution for the next year? Tadi 10 years kan? Okay, ni next year, dekat sikit.
Okay, good question. For my New Year's resolution, I think I want to learn something new, maybe brushing up my skills so I can work with some of the trends that we expect to be popular in 2021. I want to participate in some of the international design competition maybe. And inshallah, maybe I will further my studies in PhD. And last but not least, helping others to grow in their creative career by sharing knowledge through my experience. I think for now, that's my resolution for 2021.
Okay, thank you Mr. Zamir for sharing. Okay, and you, Mr. Ardi, what about you? Your New Year's resolution for 2021. We hope there's no COVID lah.
Of course, I want to go out and travel. Well, okay. Like how what Kak Tim mentioned just now. I want to be a better version of myself, of course. And yes, just like how Mr. Zamir mentioned tadi, I want to learn something new. Yes, me too. I want to learn something new because I think okay, because sekarang ni ya betul saya seorang fashion editor dan mempunyai knowledge tentang fashion, but I also want to brush up my knowledge in terms of I cannot just stuck at one place. I have to know like a lot of things, especially now we are told by our editors to go out there to become a salesperson, to become a marketing person. Like he said, I know you're an editorial person, but I know your editorial background, but I want you to go out there and sell because I think it's important for you to do a lot of things. Especially this pandemic has taught me to become a survivor, kan? And we have to do a lot of things. So that's one thing that my editor told me, like that he told me to go out there and try other things juga, try new things that can actually help me to survive. So yeah, I want to try something new. I want to brush up my skill, probably not just fashion. I want to learn more about how to do sales, how to do marketing, business, let's say business juga, because I do have plans to run my own business, inshallah. And also my resolution is to be more, to contribute more lah, to contribute more to the industry, inshallah.
Inshallah, Amin. Okay, last but not least, a little advice to all students when they graduate later. The graduates need to be the next level to compete with industry. Okay, Mr. Ardi, what do you understand with the next level?
Hello? Okay. I think next level is, well, coming from an art background, I think it's all about create something to become creative, ultra creative, and to create something that makes people think, that mengajak orang untuk berfikir tentang hasil kerja kamu. And then to not just that, you have to create something that can educate people. Like myself, when I want to write something, it's important for me to put my knowledge, like my fashion knowledge, in my writing so that I can educate people. Just like how my late father said, always said to me, whenever you want to write, you have to educate people. You have to educate the person who reads it. So for me, next level is all about being innovative and also being unique. And you have to be ahead of the game. So that's what my definition of next level.
The head of the game, okay?
Yeah,
right.
Ahead. Yeah, you have to be like ke depan. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Miss Tim? Do you think the character of the next level is in yourself? I mean, Kak Tim is the next level in Stylist.
Next level tu. Okay, yeah, macam Ardi cakap, maybe kita orang sama sealiran in fashion line. So nak jadi next level tu, you kena more advanced, more creative, be better, macam tadi Ardi cakap, tak payahlah peliagatkan orang punya hasil kerja. So you be yourself, you more advanced daripada orang lain, buat satu-satu yang kreatif yang orang lain tak terfikir nak buat. Tapi in terms of styling, kita tak boleh terlampau nak kreatif yang tak masuk akal. So you kena tahu had jugalah. Tapi walau bagaimanapun, you kena more kreatif lah dalam bidang kerja you to get you to the next level.
Okay, for me macam fashion stylist ni kena kreatif and berani, yang tu paling penting kan?
Berani juga, tapi macam I cakap tadi, berani kena bertempat tau untuk kerjaya kita orang, because we dealing with orang cakap manusia yang betul, bukan mannequin, bukan hanya sekadar gambar. So sometimes kita kena fikir the logic of the styling, persekitaran or event. Banyak benda you kena ambil kira sebelum you nak hasilkan sesuatu styling. Jangan sampai orang kata memang next level tu something yang wow, macam kalau you create something kreatif yang cantik yang orang lain tak terfikir, mesti orang cakap next level lah Ardi punya styling. So it's okay, tapi kalau next level yang ada a fourth trophy kat atas tu, macam takut, macam dia punya kenapa styling dia macam tu, ini next level ni. So yang tu tak nak dengar. So you boleh kreatif, but ada limit, ada had, kena tahu juga, kena ambil tahu. That's why experience tu penting, experience, knowledge penting.
Ya, macam as Kak Tim cakap tu, mesti cakap everything with it kena ada injection of knowledge dalam satu benda tu. Okay, thank you Miss Tim. Okay, Mr. Zamir, can you conclude all our sharing session on how to be the next level? Mr. Zamir.
Okay, that's a tough one. Okay, what I can understand with next level is basically to uplift your capability on becoming more creative and also being unique on its own. And for me to become the next level, we definitely need to think out of the box. As what I mean is to be able to think differently, to be a trendsetter, or even to create something simple but meaningful to the audience or consumer. So for my advice to all of the young designers and also young graduates, try to seek a job that suits your capability. Don't be too picky when it comes to any job opportunity. Don't keep exploring new, do keep exploring new ideas. Don't afraid to make mistakes and try to step out from your comfort zone. Yeah, establish your own style in design is a great way to differentiate you from the others. Be original, be always hunger for new knowledge. I think that's all I can conclude for this sharing session.
Okay, Mr. Zamir, thank you so much for your conclusion. And I can see that the words, the most words came from Ardi is creative, innovative. The most word came from Miss Tim is being knowledgeable, yang tu penting, and experience. And Zamir is multidisciplinary and think out of box and out of your safe zone. Okay, so thank you so much. It's such an interesting answers and ideas from three of you. Okay, now I'm going to open the floor for a Q&A session. Okay, Mr. Zamir, Mr. Ardi, and Miss Tim will answer some questions that were sent to us during the sharing session. So the first question is from Ashraf Desli for Mr. Zamir. Okay. He said that if we look at the designer 10 years back with today's digital, what are your tips and advice to those who do not learn digital technology?
Okay, for my advice, if you kind of new on digital designing on tablets, you can always practice on, back to basic, like the hands-on sketches. So it's not wrong to do hands-on sketches, and what you can do is if you have sketches on the paper, you can always scan your sketch and just try to render it up in Photoshop, maybe. So if you have the tools, it's something good, but I think hands-on sketches is still a need for designers because that's the basic thing that we should all know. So yeah, I think that's my opinion.
Okay, that is your point of view of as a designer of Proton, as industry designer. Okay, from Husna Rashida for Mr. Ardi. Okay, in your personal opinion, as you know, most sectors and agencies in Malaysia had to shut down and retrenchment workers due to COVID-19 pandemic outbreaks. So, can the fashion industry in Malaysia survive this COVID pandemic situation if the pandemic continues until next 2 or 3 years coming?
Okay. All right. I do think that fashion can actually survive in the next 2 or 3 years. When this pandemic is like an ongoing thing for the next 2-3 years, because like I said just now, when we had to pivot everything from print to digital, I think fashion has to adapt to that situation where they also have to adapt to become more digital driven. So I think if you want to survive, that's why now we have a virtual fashion show, like what Cal Fashion Week is doing, just like what Milan is doing. Paris did the same thing. So that's why I think digital is very important for you to create a new platform that can actually be shared or can actually be watched by people out there. And then because I say macam this whole digital thing can actually help to survive, boleh membantu untuk menyelamatkan industri fashion. And then in terms of dari segi, if you talk about fashion industry dari segi magazine or platform, the same thing. Whatever that is working now, for instance, like digital or anything that can actually yang boleh membantu menyelamatkan fashion, we have to adapt with the situation. We have to move forward. We have to be we have to be adaptable to whatever that is going on right now, because yes, sometimes kita kena, macam orang kata, kita kena akur dengan apa yang permintaan orang sekarang, dan benda-benda macam tu sekiranya boleh membantu, dan I think that shouldn't be a problem. And then insyaAllah benda tu akan membantu industry fashion in the next 2-3 years or 4-5 years. And if it works, then might as well you can actually go ahead with it. There's no harm in dari segi nak meneruskan kalau ia boleh membantu. Yeah.
Okay, just like a VR fashion show, something like that. We have to instill the digital in fashion, so we can, inshallah, we can survive, and we have to adapt with the situation.
Yeah, because it's probably, I understand, because probably it's not easy for anyone, but we also have to change our mindset. We also have to, kena orang kata macam, we have to become non-conformist. We have to become more orang kata lebih kreatif lagi. So kalau digital or virtual fashion show is something that you are not used to, but that can actually help to sustain your business, then go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, thank you, Mr. Ardi. Okay, this one for the rose. Okay, Ikwan for Miss Tim. Okay, as a senior in fashion industry, what are the tips or advice for prospective fresh graduates in preparation for entering the new world of work? What are the criteria that need to be emphasized for fresh graduates? Apa kriteria yang kita nak kena highlightkan untuk fresh graduates ni, Miss Tim?
Okay, dengar tak? Okay. Untuk first graduate nak masuk bidang fashion, bidang styling, bidang entertainment, first yang I boleh share, you buang mentality yang our orang cakap world ni famous is macam bestnya nak jadi stylist, nanti I famous, bestnya jadi fashion designer. So you buang mentality tu, because I face a few graduate people, budak-budak intern yang I pernah ambil, or yang budak-budak baru habis belajar yang pernah bekerja dengan I or kerja dengan orang lain, tapi I nampak situasi tu diorang ni macam bagi diorang kerja ni famous, so diorang orang kata diorang tak fokus yang lain sangat lah. Diorang macam awal-awal dah macam I nak masuk bidang ni, I nak jadi designer because I boleh bekerja dengan selebriti, I nak jadi stylist sebab I boleh kerja dengan selebriti. No, actually no, jangan fikir benda tu, fikir your artwork dulu. Macam I cakap mula-mula tadi, you orang cakap prove your creativity first. Prove your creativity.
Okay, right. So the tip is prove the creativity. Okay.
Yes.
So we can tell ourselves using our creativity.
Betul. Your fame came later.
Okay. Okay. Thank you again, Mr. Zamir, Mr. Ardi, and Miss Tim for answering those questions. So this concludes the webinar. Dah boleh tarik nafas lega dah.
Jangan. I menyampuk je.
Yes.
I ada ternampak satu soalan ni. I tak tahu dari Nur Akmal. Boleh ke I tiba-tiba nak baca satu soalan ni? Dia tanya I, what do you mean by networking? Because I did mention networking masa awal-awal cakap tadi kan. So dia tanya juga, did you work with a famous artist? Macam tu. So actually networking for fashion stylist is not just an artist. Kita kena get a networking dengan banyak kelompok masyarakat, banyak kelompok manusia. I rasa Ardi pun akan setuju sebab untuk jadi stylist, sebelum maybe the celebrity your client, your customer, tapi orang-orang yang keliling yang lain yang nak membantu kerja you, such as designer, brand, ataupun PR, marketing. So dengan orang-orang ni pun you kena ada a good networking sebab you nak bagi your client pakai apa kalau you tak baik dengan designer, siapa nak buat baju you? Because you are stylist, you provide the look, you provide your creativity to create the look. You tak jahit baju tu, so of course you need to get a best networking with designers. So networking kalau as a stylist banyaklah you kena dalam kelompok yang besar. Actually the celebrity, actually the client as a client, tapi you kena ada orang-orang lain ni, you kena get the networking juga.
Itulah, that's the importance of networking. Okay. Is that all? Okay, thank you again for answering those questions. So this concludes the webinar. Okay, I just want to share this quote that's sweet to be applied with this pandemic era, and this is from Cinderella's mother, because I am a fan of Disney's. And have courage and be kind. Have courage to survive while being kind to others. Okay, thank you for your time. Thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedule. Thanks for sharing with us. It was a pleasure to have you guys with us. We already prepared some tokens to Mr. Zamir, Ms. Ardi, and Ms. Tim.
Oh.
The appreciation token, yes. The appreciation token will be given later by Ms. Farah Azrin. Okay. And to all students and you viewers, thank you all for attending. We hope you have learned and enjoyed this webinar. And this webinar inspired everyone who's watching. Thank you very much for watching this webinar. Be safe. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night. Assalamualaikum.
Good night. Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Thank you semua. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Diana. Thank you. Nanti kita ajak lagi.